Greetings, welcome back to Pink Oddbird. It's Fly the Coop Friday, and today what I thought I would come on and show you how to do really quick is how I do my 5-hole pamphlet stitch. And it's the same premise whether you're doing this in a soft cover or hardcover. You'll have to forgive me because I'm literally in the middle of working on something, but I thought I would stop really quick and show you how I do this, and my hands are all filled with glue. But what I'll do is go ahead and explain to you my process. As you can see here, all I have is a hardcover that I've already basically put together, and it's covered with fabric right now, and I only just have the inside piece here on. And when my covers are in this state, I like to write something here. I usually write left inside so that when I'm working on the cover, I remember the direction that I want the cover to go in. So when I'm sewing my signatures in, I never have the book upside down while I'm sewing my signatures in. The other thing that you'll notice is, well, I've just clipped this on because I have it in place where I want the holes to go for my signatures. I'm not going to show this piece because Liesl from Did Somebody Say Paper, she has my favorite tutorial on how you can get this part of your book ready. So basically what she shows you is how to get your template ready, and also she shows you how she goes about punching the holes. So I haven't done that part yet, but I'm just going to go ahead and get that part done. I'll link to her video in the description box, so if you want to check that video out and learn how to get to this point, you can do that, or if you have your own method, that's fine as well. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off camera really quick and do that, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've gone ahead and now you'll see I've got the holes for where my signatures are going to go. Those are all punched, and for mine, it's not a hidden spine on this one. So I punched the holes all the way through. And of course I haven't done this part yet. I like to do that after I get the signatures in. So I mean, I'm not going to do that on the camera, but if you're wondering why, I just don't do mine first. But if you cover your whole thing first, that's fine. All right, so now that that part's done, the things that I'm going to need to get my signatures prepared is my template, the same template that I used for punching the holes on the board, my awl, the clip, my bone folder, my thread of choice, my needle of choice. And the needle that I use is, you can get it at Hobby Lobby. It's Yarnology. Oops, sorry, Yarnology. It is a needlepoint tapestry needle, and it is for use with 7 mesh plastic canvas. Sorry, there you go. That's if you don't already have a favorite needle. If you do, then use that one. All right, so those are the supplies that I like to have. Now we're going to take our signature, and once you're done sewing, if you're gonna sew, you're ready to obviously sew your signature in. So what I have here is my last signature in the book. So I like to start from the back of the book to the front. Before I get ready to put the signature in, I always flip through to make sure that the pages are adjusted in a way that I like them, in a way that feels balanced and even. And yeah, so just go through and adjust your signature how you want it. All right, so that's my signature. So once that part is done, I always grab it by the sides and make sure that it's level on either side. Okay, and put this little piece on where I want it. It's gonna go there. All right, so now that I have my signature how I want it to go, and it's even here and it's even here, I'm gonna take my clip, and you can see I'm holding it at kind of like this angle, a wide V. And that's the way that I like to hold it because it's easy for me when I'm sewing my signatures in. So now I'm going to take the clip and hold this all in place, just like that. Also, when you're flipping through your signature, you want to make sure all your pages are right side up. That's important. On your template, the one that you used for punching the holes in the book, you want to make sure that you write top on that template because it helps you remember. Again, it's all directional and it helps keep everything just more aligned. So I'm going to put that in. I need to make sure this is in here too. So for that, since it's a little bit of a smaller piece, I'm just going to close these down and that'll hold it in place. You want to make sure that your template has top on it here, and then fold it in a way that you have the templates sort of in the center so that it's easy for you to punch through. When I'm punching through, I hold it in my hands. I don't use like a phone book, but you can use something like that or whatever method you use. I start in the center and I punch through. Just like that. Then punch here. Oop. Second one here. And the last one at the top. Once I'm here, I spin the whole thing around because I'm left-handed. So it's easier for me to do it this way, so everything, again, so it all stays in place. Then I'm going to come down to the fourth hole here. So the second to last hole at the bottom, punch through and punch through on the last one. Okay? Now we're done with our template for now. So now with my thread, the way I do it is I go take my top of my thread, here's my signature, and I go, this is a very rough estimate the way I do it. It's 1, 2, and then I forgot my scissors, approximately like, I don't know, a half. Let me grab my scissors. Okay, so now cut my thread down. 2.5 to 3 times the length of your book, I think, is usually pretty good. 3 is sometimes much unless you want to put charms or something at the end of your string. So I'm just going to thread this up here. All right, now I have my signature and I'm going to hold it in sort of that same position that it was in, just like that, when I punch the holes through, because the papers are already aligned that way. So I'm going to put my needle in through the center. Okay, now I'm going to grab my book cover. And again, remember we're working on the last signature, so that's going to be this row here. It's hard to see, I know, because I did black paper, but this is the second signature, this is the first signature. So we're working here. Align this with the center hole in the book and pull this through. Now when I pull this through, I usually do it so the string is about, there's like maybe about 2 inches of the string here. Flip it over to the back and we're going to go into the second, this hole here. And then again, align it with your signature. Now, and I'm going to show you what to do if you get kind of stuck here. So that one went through fine. Usually in some of these I get a little stuck sometimes, so I can show you easily how to get beyond that. All right, so when you pull this one through, I don't pull it too taut at this point in time because it's going to make this string get shorter. So you don't want to do it too taut just yet. So we're going to now go up through the very top hole, the hole at the top of the book, and through the top hole in the book, and pull that through. Now on this one, you could pull it a little tighter than this one here. Since we've got this in, now I pull this one tighter and I pull this one up just to give it a little bit more tautness. Okay. Now at this point, we're going to go back in to this same exact hole here. So back in. And these are the parts where it gets a little tricky sometimes. Okay, that one was easy. All right, so we're back through. Make sure you don't split your thread. Now we want to make sure we give it a pretty nice little tug here because we want this to be a little tighter now. Both here. So that's what our back's looking like so far. This is the top of the book. Okay, so now we're going to skip the center and go down to the second to last hole. through there, through the book. And then we're going to bring it back in. You can pull this a little tight too. Again, sometimes I flip the book this way because it's just easier for me since I'm left-handed. And then back through the bottom and then into the signature as well. I know this is a little more work than the 3-hole pamphlet, but to me it's the most sturdy way to sew a book in, or to sew your signatures into the book. And now we're in through the last hole here. We're going to go back through the second to last hole here. And then once we get through here, make sure it's tight. This is where you want to really start making sure everything is getting tight. So pull the center string a little bit more. We're going to go back through the center hole here. Sometimes this one can be tricky. Okay, sometimes it's not that easy for me, but for some reason it's going smoothly. I'll try one more signature after this and see. So once we have all these in, I pull them tight, I turn it over, and then I make sure that none of these are loose. And then I tie it left over right and right over left. And then I just trim these down if I'm not gonna put anything on them. All right, take this off and you've got one signature in your book. Just like that. So let's do one more and you can follow along. So let's go ahead and try the middle signature. So that's the one that's going to go next. All right, so I've got the middle signature here. This one has a shaker pocket, so I'm going to make sure that these are balanced out as much as I can. You probably have seen this book already, I'm thinking, because I'm planning to have this book or these books up before I have this tutorial up. All right, so I've got them all ready to go. They're even. I'm gonna make sure they're really even. Even and even. Even Steven. All right, now I get my template, make sure it's directional. All right, so those are done. Let's get my thread. One, two, and a bit. Now we'll grab our book, and this is, as you go, it always starts getting a little bit more tricky because well, the book's getting fuller. All right, so this is our top and down, and then we've got our top, and we can double check it by checking pockets in your book, make sure that everything is in the right direction. So we'll take our center hole and through the center of the book, just like that. Again, leave about 2 inches here, and we're going to come up second from the top. Ooh, this is hard to do. And then right through the signature. Tricky, tricky, tricky. If we do rock around, it's tricky. Okay, so I'm having a little trouble. So in that case, what I do is I go through the same hole with the awl, and then it just kind of like refreshes that hole that you have there. See how much easier that was? All right, again, you don't want to pull too tight here. When you start seeing this one move, that's when you want to stop. So I go up to the top hole now, push it through, and then we're going to come back on the other side, that second hole from the top. So this is another instance where we're going to have to refresh it. Okay. All right. Up there. Pull it tight. Back through that second hole. Up through, well, first we want to pull our string tight. Up through the center hole. There we go. Okay, take your needle out. Make sure everything is tight in the back. Left over right. Right over left. And you're done. So that is how you get your signatures in. Just like that. So I have one more to go, and I'm going to do that one off camera, but it's going to be the same process as all the others. And as long as you're doing it this way, everything is going to come out evenly in your book. So I hope this was helpful to you. If I have forgotten anything, I'll put it on the screen. If you have any questions, let me know in the description box below. What's your favorite method to bind? What's a binding method that you haven't tried yet that you would like to? Leave me a comment and let me know. So I'm going to go ahead and go finish this book. And thank you all for being here for Fly the Coop Friday. And until next time, toodaloo.